Hello, Rec187 and welcome back to UltimateAdmiralDreadnoughts, Dreadnoughts, where we are racing into week 6 of our Shipyard Champions Season 2. And as ever, as we start into a new week, the first thing we're going to do is take a squiz back at last week's scores and see how that affects the overall season table. So here we have it, scores of indoors, and a big congratulations to Ilari, who tops us for last week. We're coming in with a total of 4 points. Really excellent display of using, less than 10,000 tons to take care of those battleships. So yeah, really kudos to him. Ourselves, a very respectable 2 points. I at the time thought we were going to be higher up the table. I was expecting a lot more people to end up in the negative point zone. But that being said, middle of the pack, we'll take it. Well, let's be honest, we don't have a choice. And it was nice to see actually some of those further up the league table not doing so well this week, so it kind of narrows the pack a little bit. And what does that look like? Well, if we jump over to that and embiggen it, here we can see. So Moisty Gaming still in the lead, but a reduced lead with Pawn Iron with hot in his heels in 22, and then myself and Larry joint third with 20.5, and the rest not that far away. So with 9 points a week we play for, there is definite room for a few changes of places before we finish. Okay, so that's where we are. Oh, just before I actually go on, and you'll note Stealth 17 has decided to join in the fun. We thought, rather than worry about it and say don't join till next season, just come on in, muck around and enjoy it, albeit you're going to be miles behind everyone else because you've not played this number of weeks, but the more the merrier, so let's make that happen. Okay, week 6 challenge. So this one actually came up by Moisty, and it's more of player versus player designs, which I really enjoyed actually last time. I think it's nice to come up with a much more competent design than necessarily from the AI. And this time we are in 1910. We need to design battleships and we need to design light cruisers of the same nation. And that's the only restriction we've got. Whatever tonnage, whatever time, whatever cost you like. It just has to be 1910, pick a nation, design a battleship, design a light cruiser. And then we're going to fight off against each other. So we're going to have fleets of 2 BBs and 3 CLs. We're going to start at 15 kilometers, morning or afternoon, and clear weather. And no peeking at the enemy design before you start the battle. Very straightforward, and we've got to sink the opposing force. How is the scoring going to work? Well, a point for each ship that we sink, and minus 1 point for each ship that you lose. Counting both for the fight that you control and as well for your AI. So, I suppose you could come out with a 0 if you sink all the enemy ships, but then they sink all yours. So I think this is going to be a very tight one with probably only a few points in it. So we'll have to see how we do. So definitely trying to keep our ones alive. And then what was it? Yeah, tiebreaker of a battle timer, which we might talk about a little bit later. Okay, so who and what are we fighting? Well, we did Broselli did the spinny wheel of fortune to determine who was fighting against what. And myself, I'm fighting against Stealth 17's design. So the San Gaetano and the Duca degli Abruzzi. So Italian, obviously. And then my own designs, which we'll take a look at shortly. BB Mixalot and Becky are up against Panzergraf. So he'll be taking on our ships. Okay, so and as you can see on the screen in front of you. Without further ado, we're going to jump in. We're going to look at the ships I designed, and then we'll talk about the upcoming fight. Okay, so first thing we had to do was pick a nation. And as ever, my first thoughts always go to kind of hulls and hull designs. Essentially, what we're looking for is large displacements and then reasonable numbers in terms of resistance and floatability and stability and all those kind of extra factors. And so when it comes to 1910 battleships, your kind of front runners tend to be actually not the British, it's the French. In fact, it's not the French. They're slightly less than I thought they were going to be. I take that back. It's the Germans, because they can go up to mid-30,000s. It's the Americans, who can go up to mid-30,000s. And it's the Russians, who can go up to mid-30,000 tons. So they're the 3 biggest nations that they can put things down. And actually, Russian takes the top in terms of resistance with 87.5, although a bit less on the floatability. So good at resisting hits, but not so good if maybe hits torpedoes. The US, low resistance but reasonable floatability. And when with the Germans, probably on a parish with the US, slightly better resistance and ever so slightly worse floatability. I'm kind of spoiling ourselves here. So as you can see by this ship sitting in front of us, it was the Germans I decided to go for. No real drastic driver between them and the US and the Americans. I just happen to like the size of the ship. This is Uh-oh. Okay. I've misnamed my ships. Oh, well, that's going to be interesting. Okay, so what's going on here? I was playing around with designs, and I decided we're going to go with the German battleship, and I started whopping on these two dual turret 13-inch guns, right? And actually you can get all 5 as center line, still within your weight. I then thought, well, hang on, well, I could stick on some wing turrets as well, just for a little bit of fun. I had to give up essentially all the secondaries to do so, but we managed it, and I thought, this is not necessarily good design, but it's a fun design. And I reduced the speed down, usual, bulkheads, beam, veterans, all the best kind of armors and things. Sticking with a 14.5-inch belt, reasonable 4 and a half to 4-inch deck, which I was quite happy about. So, not crazy in terms of armor, but reasonably armored, pretty slow, but with some serious firepower. However, I then played around with the variant of that, where I thought, what happens if we just did like large volumes of small caliber guns, these 9-inch ones, and I just fired these on. And this was just a bit of playing around my own for fun. And I thought, well, this is interesting, but I don't think it's particularly useful. I don't think this is going to get the job done. A competent player is just going to run away from you and sink you at distance. So this was supposed to be saved as small guns only, and then this one was supposed to be saved as mix-a-lot, which we would then take into the fight. But I think my opponents are now going to be up against this battleship of mine, which may lead them to question my sanity. It's probably going to cost me a few points. Well, bugger. Anyway, right, so we have ourselves here. This is the German ship, which was supposed to be designed. Again, I thought it was good. It was not necessarily good, but it was fun, just because you had an insane number of 13-inch guns that you could hurl at your opponent. I did do a little bit tweak in terms of gun lengths, just to increase their rate of fire, but felt they were still punching through reasonable amounts of armor at that. And that was probably about it. All the other kind of changes in terms of, the best you can get for shells and radios and all this bits and pieces are fairly standard. So we do have the ability to design our own ships. We don't have to use the ones we submitted, but I'm going to use this one because it's fun. I think it's going to be entertaining. So what I actually am going to do, I'm going to delete this one, just so... in fact, we're going to confuse it. I'm deleting this one, and then I'll give this one its proper name so it turns up. It also makes no sense as a name now, because it was supposed to be Sir Mix-a-Lot, who does obviously the famous song I Like Big Butts, with the play of I Like Big Guns. Oh, I deleted my turret. Get back on the boat. Okay, well, there we go. These things happen, but I'm sure we're going to still have fun with it. Now, in terms of light cruisers, there's not much between most of the nations, with perhaps one exception, which we'll talk about shortly. So we've got a semi-armoured cruiser, 6.5-inch kind of naval guns, at 4 and a half, and then a whole bunch of 3-inch secondaries. Nothing particularly interesting or different about it. Again, speed, pretty average. Again, bulkheads, beam, all the kind of usual upgrades that you would expect. 6-inch belt, which I was pretty pleased about with for a cruiser. That should help us resist some secondary fires or tertiary fires from the other ships. And a pretty good kind of deck, 4-inch deck as well, which I thought was quite a lot. So a bit more armoured, maybe a little less oomph than some others, but overall a reasonable amount of DACA, reasonable amount of protection. And as I said, all the other nations are fairly similar. A lot of them can get access to this, with the one exception, which is always worth mentioning, and that's France for their Light Cruiser 4. And the interesting thing about this is the sheer number of secondary guns you can get on because of these little gun emplacements. You can get huge numbers on, just like so. So what's that, like 3, 6, 12, 18 before you've even played around elsewhere. So this can put out a lot of, obviously fairly small caliber, high explosive shells, and we all know the power of kind of burning out, especially in these earlier years. One interesting thing to know, just an error with their hull design, is that the default position for a gun in this middle slot here is to try and put it pointing alongside the ship, which obviously doesn't fit. So you actually have to go around and manually rotate these to get them to fit. So you can get 6 in each of them. Just takes you a scooch more work to get them rotated around. A very, I don't know, interesting little bug there. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So, and then we're going up against the Italians. What have they got? Well, they've got Dreadnought 2, so it's going to be a little smaller than ours, 25,000 tons. Reasonable number of casemates guns, but nothing particularly special. And again, they're going to have the same semi-armoured light cruiser. So I think we can take those. And we're going to be using, I said, you are allowed to redesign ships if you wish, but we are not going to do that. We're going to stick with our, oh, I didn't save. Our Sir Mix-a-Lot, which it should be. And Becky as well accompanying us. Becky obviously referenced in the song for those of you not of an age to understand what on earth I'm talking about. Alright, let's jump in. We'll set up the barrel. I need to go and install the ship designs from Stealth 17, and then we'll jump straight into battle and see how we get on. Okay, we've put the little mix-up snafu behind us. We have the appropriate, proper, no secondary, primary gun only, Sir Mix-a-Lot in the barrel, ready to go, accompanied by a number of Beckys, and we're going up against Stealth 17s, 2 battleships and 3 light cruisers. 1910, 15 kilometers. Ship design always clear and morning. I'm really looking forward to watching Panzergraph's episode, because I can't wait to his reaction at the insane, ridiculous design that he's going to fight. It's rubbish. But anyway, let's go with this one. Go. Okay. So we have the Wharf and the Mix-a-Lot. Our enemy is to the north. This direction. We are fairly slow. What, guys? You guys are in a screen. Don't worry about it. Just go line ahead, please. Here. Just go. If I just go sail, we'll sort yous out. I'm gonna probably keep a little bit of range here. Try and use my superior number of guns. Of course they hit you. Of course they hit you. Goodness sake. Yeah, because hopefully I should be able to feel the range. Now, obviously, with wing turrets, one of them's not really doing anything. But, you know. Look at that for broadside. That's what it's about, you know. This was not about sensible designs. This was about having awesome broadsides. Look at them. See if we can fall them in. Glorious shells. I think, oh, surely one of these has got a hit. There's enough of them in the air. They all look pretty short. Oh no, wait. We missed them all. Okay. Well, some long barrels by the looks of things here. And they've got an 8-gun broadside. Not bad. We've got, what, 12? If they've gone for longer barrels, then we should out pace them with our reloads and our fires as well. We'll be a little bit of luck, I think, at this range. Our hit chance is probably pretty low. Hey, oh, a ricochet. Okay. Interesting. What range are we at? We are sitting at, should be about 15k, but these things are never quite exact. Why are you not showing me? 20 kilometers. Yeah, 20 kilometers, right there, right in front of my face. So at 20k, plunging fire, we're going through on, presumably we're using AP. Well, no, can't be, because if we're going AP, we'd be going through all of their belt. I might tell them to switch to AP. No, you are using AP. There you go. AP. Surprised that was a ricochet then. Maybe just the angle it came in at. 2% chance to hit. That's not great. Now, what I haven't seen... Oh, there is the light cruisers. Another partial ping. Why? Don't hit me. I'm supposed to be hitting you. Okay. Let's go back to our battle line. I'm going to speed things up a little bit because things are going quite slowly. We do want to kind of come around. Be over in this kind of general direction. Let's kick the speed up. Let's get our light cruisers into support. We'll slow you down to about 20 so you don't run too far away from our main battle line. We'll get your gates going, and so your friends can catch up. Do I want to come round again? No, I'm okay at this angle. Another ricochet. Interesting. Yes, we may need to get a bit closer. Find out what stealth has done to his ships. Make sure you're coming around. Plenty of ammo for now. We do have to watch you don't go run ourselves out though. Nah, I may hit ricochet as well. Okay. Let's why don't we change to save for just a scooch? Well, we've kinda got a few hundreds of rounds, don't we? Yeah. Let's not do that. That's a silly idea. Just go normal. Let's swing us around so we're going in the same direction as they are. In fact no, let's not. Let's keep going behind them. Potentially we can get in behind some of their gun arcs. It's a long way off because at this range it's going to be a while before you really come out with their arcs. And let's maybe close the gap a scooch. Now, torpedoes. What's the range of torpedoes in this day and age? 6 kilometers, right. So I don't want to go closer than 6 kilometers to you. You're at 10. Fine. Oh! There we go. First blood. I like it. Fire. Good chunk of health off. Have some of that. Oh, big hole there in the forward belt. Okay, this is working well. Let's not... I don't want to endanger ourselves going too close. You are coming charging towards me. What I would like to do is for you to get in front. Well, you guys will turn away a little bit. Oh! Oh, I wish I'd seen that. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's another one. Okay, 13's doing fantastic work there. One down. Oh, another smash there. Oh, hang on, I get a phone call. It's pause for a minute. Alright, sorry about that. Life interrupting fun. And oh. So I was saying we're getting back to blowing things up. I've just noticed a little blue column over here. Hello, my friend. Oh my god, look at this thing. I was too busy focusing on the CL. Oh, I think you've misplaced your turret there, friend. Oh, and another one. Bye. Stop shooting at it. It's sunk. That's awesome. Okay, next up. Can we do that again? Because that would make quite a nice little thumbnail. Where are your other light cruisers? Unless they were also on the screens, they might be in a bit of a funny arrangement. Right, you guys are now sailing into each other. Nice to see we finally fight. Oh, look at our hit percent chance. Beautiful. What kind of range is this? 12k. Okay, this seems to be a perfecto range. We'll come and have a look at our friend here, the Strafetta. So we never really examined it. So 12 inches got, so we out caliber them with a bunch of 7-inch secondaries. What's your armor? It's up to 20 inches of armor. Although it's not Oh, the conning tower is super armoured. Okay. What was your belt? 5.6 inch belt, okay. 4 inch main deck. Oh. Oh, this is not going to last long. One thing I would like to do is... Oh, hang on. I need to double check. I need to kill the UI because I don't do it very often. 2 secs. Okay, got it for it. It is, of course, the simple case of Control Shift Alt and Z. We'll have to be careful which order I do that, because if I press Alt Z, then my NVIDIA starts doing silly things. Okay, right, we were in the process of smashing this thing to pieces. Our primary guns on. This is why I'm really disappointed that this proper Sir Mix-a-Lot is not going to go up against Panzergraf. Because maybe it is good. Certainly seems to be getting the job done here. I like seeing the flashes just from a distance there, it looks cool. Let's see if why don't we see if we can get a good shot of the proper Sir Mix-a-Lot firing the broadside. When you're ready, sir. Oh, come on, more barrels than that. I don't think that's going to look very good. But anyway, funsies. We've not even used our Beckies. Okay, let's hunt down these last cruisers. Because this thing is dead. Okay, there they are there. You can see the smoke. Now we just have to get to them. So I'm going to say... well, I don't want to lose any ships here. Look at those penetrations. You're going as fast as your little legs can carry you, which isn't very fast. Let's get you guys up to full speed. We'll have you kind of come in and around. And we will have you guys turn towards as well if you can. Oh, you poor, poor Strafetta. Came out. Oh, something got hit. The Worth took a shell there. Oh well, you know, a little scratch, a war wound. And there she goes. Well, they're fighting the damage control cruiser, going for it, but de nada. Okay, these guys have stopped laying smoke. That would be awesome. Let's have you guys coming down there, and if you can kind of aim in front of them, that'll be good. Again, I don't really want to get within 6 kilometers because I don't have any speed with which to dodge torpedoes. We should see them fairly soon. There we go. Hello. I really had to look at these things. Yeah, it's lots of low guns. Did go for the armored cruiser. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller secondaries, or not smaller secondaries, smaller caliber guns. Presumably some underwater turrets as well. Torpedoes. Mashing all my words right now. Right, we're at 10 kilometers. That seems like a pretty beautiful range. We know we can do good work. Ten glorious 13-inch shells. Miles off target though. That was an embarrassingly bad miss. Oh, we hit this one though. Are you guys within range yet? No, not yet. I wonder if they got, maybe they're 8s they're carrying. But we should, we look, it looks like we have a, certainly a larger amount of DACA, because this guy doesn't look like he's got loads of secondaries or anything. Are you guys sitting on top of each other? You are. I love it when they do this. Go on, just, you're faster. Turn away and drive, please. Drive. At least the proper swimming. Oh, he doesn't care. He's still going. How about we detach you? Cheers. Ooh. Where is it gone? No, where am I? Here. Is there somewhere detached? You can go your own way, Becky. We don't know what it is yet, but it's sunk. Love it. Oh. Sit down. Awesome. Okay, well I think that's going to be us. Night night. Beautiful. A very, very successful outing. So maximum points here, 5. My only problem is I think we're going to do terribly because I sent out that horrendous design rather than the one I was supposed to. Let us go. Let's jump into. We can jump quickly into series and we can look at what do you face it? Stealth's proper designs here. Here we go. The San Gaetano, 20,000 tons. Okay, we need to go for maximum draft. Spacious, interesting. Yeah, reasonable chunky belt. Thick little armor belt as well. But the turret armor didn't save him. We still popped him a few of them. Yeah, and long 12-inch guns, presumably trying to eke out the range. But we had 13, so that was absolutely fine. And a few secondaries, but they never got used. And then here on the light cruiser, that was 7-inch guns. Okay, so 6 7-inch guns. Yeah, no secondaries, tertiaries, anything like that. Okay, seems like quite a fast one, which I veered away from because I don't think the AI uses speed particularly well. I'd rather armor up and gun up. I think players can use speed, but AI not so much. Yeah, and 6s and 3s. Okay, that seems fine. And then of course we have our beautiful, beautiful Sir Mix-a-Lot. And they come with Becky. Excellent. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna chalk that up as a win. I'm dreading to think what we're gonna end because I'm gonna reload it, and I'm gonna with that ridiculous design that Panzergraph's gonna be fighting. And there we have it. This is the fake Sir Mix-a-Lot that Panzergraph's gonna be up against, which is going to be humorous. It's not really humorous. They're just gonna. What's the range of these 9-inch guns? 12.5k. Yeah, so you set 15k and you kill it with large caliber guns because it's also very slow. Which is why I didn't go for it in the end. Oh well. So I would recommend you go check that out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. Our glorious real Mix-a-Lot did a fantastic job. And we'll just have to hope his fake version does something. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one.